I'm truly happy that you're here today. Find a comfortable place to sit. Take a slow breath. And simply allow yourself to relax. There is nothing you need to memorize right now. There are no tests waiting for you. No pressure to sound perfect. And no need to worry about making mistakes. For the next little while, this is simply your space to enjoy English naturally. One conversation at a time. Today, we're going to practice the kind of English that real people use every single day. Not textbook English. Not complicated grammar explanations. Just natural conversations that help you feel more comfortable speaking whenever life gives you the chance. Maybe you've experienced something like this before. You recognize many English words. You understand most of a YouTube video. You can even read articles or messages without too much difficulty. But then someone suddenly asks you a simple question. How's your day going? And somehow, your mind becomes completely blank. You know the words. You know the grammar. But nothing comes out naturally. If that has ever happened to you, you're definitely not alone. In fact, this is one of the biggest challenges for English learners around the world. The problem usually isn't vocabulary. It isn't grammar. It isn't intelligence. The real challenge is learning how to connect everything together naturally during a real conversation. That's exactly what we're going to work on today. Throughout this lesson, you'll listen to real-life situations, practice natural responses, repeat useful phrases, and slowly train your brain to think in English instead of translating every single sentence. By the end of this lesson, you'll notice something very important. Simple conversations will begin to feel easier. Common questions won't seem so stressful anymore. And little by little, you'll start answering more naturally, with more confidence, and with much less hesitation. That's our goal today. Not perfect English. Natural English. Because real communication isn't about using the biggest vocabulary. It's about connecting with people. Imagine meeting someone for the first time. They don't expect a perfect speech. They simply want to have a friendly conversation. Imagine ordering your favorite coffee. The person behind the counter isn't grading your grammar. They're simply waiting for your order. Imagine asking someone for directions while you're traveling. They aren't judging your accent. They're just trying to help. Real English works exactly like that. It's simple. It's human. It's full of small moments that happen every single day. And once you become comfortable with those moments, speaking English starts feeling much more natural. One conversation becomes two. Two conversations become 10. Then one day, without even realizing it, you find yourself speaking without translating first. That transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens one small sentence at a time. One useful phrase at a time. One relaxed practice session at a time. That's why I want you to make yourself one small promise before we continue. Don't try to be perfect today. Just be present. Listen carefully. Repeat naturally. Smile when you make a mistake. And keep going. Because every mistake means you're actually using the language. And using the language is exactly how fluency grows. Many learners believe they need to sound like a native speaker before they can start having conversations. Actually, it's the opposite. Conversations are what help you become more fluent. The more you speak, the more natural English becomes. Think about how children learn their first language. They don't study grammar books first. They listen. They copy. They repeat. They experiment. Sometimes they make funny mistakes. Then they try again. That's exactly what we're doing together today. We're creating a safe place where your English can grow naturally. As we move through today's lesson, you'll hear many phrases that native speakers use every day. Some of them may already be familiar. Others might be completely new. Don't worry if you don't remember everything the first time. Your brain doesn't learn through pressure. It learns through repetition. That's why you'll hear important phrases more than once. Each repetition builds another small connection in your memory. Little by little, those connections become automatic. One day, you'll hear someone ask you a question, and the answer will simply come out without much effort. That moment feels amazing. And we're working toward that moment together. There's another important thing I'd like you to remember. You don't need to speak fast. Many learners think fluent English means speaking quickly. It doesn't. Some of the clearest speakers in English actually speak quite calmly. They pause. They breathe. They choose their words naturally. Confidence doesn't sound rushed. Confidence sounds relaxed. So today, don't try to race through the sentences. Instead, pay attention to the rhythm. Notice how the words flow together. Listen carefully to how each sentence feels. Your pronunciation will improve naturally over time. Your listening will improve naturally over time. Your speaking will improve naturally over time. Everything grows together. That's one of the beautiful things about language learning. Every small practice session helps more than one skill at the same time. You become a better listener, a better speaker, a better communicator, and perhaps most importantly, you become more confident. Confidence isn't something you suddenly receive one morning. It's something you build. One successful sentence after another. One successful conversation after another. Before we continue, I'd like to invite you to become an active learner during this lesson. Whenever I ask you to repeat something, say it out loud if you can. If you're listening somewhere quiet, speak confidently. If you're on a bus or at work, you can answer quietly in your mind. Either way, stay involved. Don't become just a listener. Become a participant. Every time your brain prepares an answer, even silently, you're strengthening your speaking ability. You'll also notice that sometimes I'll ask you to imagine yourself somewhere. Maybe you're walking into a coffee shop. Maybe you're talking with a coworker. Maybe you're meeting someone new. These little mental pictures are surprisingly powerful. When your brain connects English with real situations, remembering becomes much easier. Instead of memorizing isolated sentences, you're building experiences. Native speakers don't memorize scripts before every conversation. They remember situations. Today, we're helping your brain do exactly the same thing. And here's something exciting. As we continue through this lesson, you'll probably recognize moments where you think, I've actually experienced something like this. That's wonderful. Those moments create stronger memories. The more personal English feels, the longer you'll remember it. Sometimes you'll learn a phrase and immediately think of a friend who says something similar. Sometimes you'll imagine using today's expressions at work. Sometimes you'll picture yourself traveling somewhere new. Those little moments are signs that English is becoming part of your life instead of just another subject to study. That's exactly where real progress begins. If you've been searching for a way to improve your speaking without feeling overwhelmed, I hope this lesson becomes part of your daily routine. Even listening for a few minutes each day can make a remarkable difference over time. Consistency is always more powerful than perfection. 5 relaxed days of practice are much better than one stressful day of trying to learn everything at once. If you're enjoying learning this way, I'd love to invite you to join our growing community here on Relaxing English Listening. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future lessons designed to help you understand English, speak more naturally, and enjoy the learning process every single day. There are many conversations waiting for us. Many useful expressions you'll soon recognize instantly, and many small breakthroughs that will surprise you along the way. The journey doesn't begin with difficult grammar. It begins with one simple conversation. And today, that conversation begins with you. In just a moment, we'll step into our first real-life situation together. You'll discover how native speakers often say less than learners expect, yet communicate much more naturally. You may even recognize a few expressions you've heard many times without ever noticing why they sound so comfortable. Take one more slow breath. Relax your shoulders. Let your mind become curious. Your English doesn't need to be perfect today. It only needs to become a little more natural than it was yesterday. And that's exactly what we're about to do together. As we begin today's practice, I'd like you to remember one simple idea. You do not need to sound like a native speaker today. You do not need to know thousands of words. You do not need to answer every question perfectly. All you need is a clear message, a relaxed voice, and the willingness to keep speaking. That is how real confidence grows. Many English learners believe that fluent speakers never hesitate. The truth is very different. Native speakers pause. They change their minds in the middle of a sentence. Sometimes they search for the right word. Sometimes they laugh and start over. Real conversations are never perfect. They're simply natural. That's why today's practice is about speaking comfortably, not speaking perfectly. Imagine you're getting ready for your day. The morning is quiet. You pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea. You look outside the window. Maybe the sky is bright. Maybe it's cloudy. Maybe it's raining softly. Take a slow breath and imagine saying something simple to yourself. It's going to be a good day. Repeat after me slowly. It's going to be a good day. One more time. It's going to be a good day. Now say it again, a little more naturally. It's gonna be a good day. Notice how native speakers often shorten going to into gonna in casual conversation. You don't have to use it all the time, but you'll hear it everywhere. This is one of those little details that makes English sound relaxed. Now imagine you're walking toward your favorite coffee shop. The street isn't too busy yet. You hear birds singing. Someone walks past you and smiles. Without thinking too much, you smile back. You don't need a long conversation. Just a few natural words. Imagine, they say. Good morning. You answer. Good morning. How's it going? Repeat after me slowly. Good morning. How's it going? Again. Good morning. How's it going? Now try saying it with a warm smile. Good morning. How's it going? Excellent. Did you notice something? We didn't use difficult vocabulary. We didn't use advanced grammar. Yet it already sounds like real English. That's because everyday conversations are built with small, useful phrases. Many learners spend years studying complicated grammar, but never become comfortable saying simple things like, morning. How's everything? Good to see you. Native speakers use expressions like these every single day. Let's continue. Imagine the other person smiles and answers. I'm doing pretty well. What about you? Listen carefully. I'm doing pretty well. What about you? Repeat after me. I'm doing pretty well. What about you? Now answer naturally. You could simply say, I'm doing well. Thanks. Or maybe, I'm doing pretty good. Or perhaps, I'm a little sleepy today. Let's build those answers together. Basic. I'm fine. Natural. I'm doing well. Thanks. More natural. I'm doing pretty good today. Native style. I'm a little sleepy, but I'm doing pretty well. Notice how each answer becomes slightly richer. Instead of stopping after two words, you're giving the conversation somewhere to go. This is something many learners don't realize. The best conversations don't come from difficult vocabulary. They come from giving people something they can respond to. Imagine your friend hears you say, "I'm a little sleepy today." They might laugh and ask, "Late night?" You smile. "Yeah. I stayed up a little too late." Now you have a real conversation. One simple sentence created another. That's exactly how conversations grow. Let's practice another useful response. Repeat after me slowly. I'm kind of tired today. Again. I'm kind of tired today. Notice the phrase kind of. Native speakers love using expressions like this. Instead of saying, "I'm tired," they often say, "I'm kind of tired." "I'm a little tired." "I'm a bit tired." These softer expressions sound much more natural. Most learners sound too direct here. Here's a more natural response. I'm a bit tired, but I'm feeling better now. Repeat slowly. I'm a bit tired, but I'm feeling better now. Very nice. Now let's make it even more personal. Imagine you're talking to someone you haven't seen for a few days. They ask, "How have you been?" Don't answer with just, "Fine." Instead, try adding a little detail. "I've been pretty busy lately." Repeat after me. I've been pretty busy lately. Again. I've been pretty busy lately. Now add one more sentence. I've been pretty busy lately. But things are finally slowing down. Repeat that slowly. I've been pretty busy lately. But things are finally slowing down. Can you hear how natural that sounds? You aren't trying to impress anyone. You're simply sharing a small piece of your life. That's exactly what real conversations are. Let's pause for a moment. Take a slow breath. Notice how much English you've already spoken. Not grammar exercises. Not vocabulary lists. Real English. English you could actually use today. Every sentence you repeat is training your brain to think a little faster in English. Maybe you don't notice it immediately. But something is changing. Every repetition creates another small connection. Every natural phrase becomes easier to remember. This is how fluency grows. Quietly. Gradually. Naturally. Let's continue with another common morning situation. Imagine you're arriving at work. Or maybe you're arriving at school. You see someone near the entrance. They smile and say, "Hey, good to see you." Instead of simply saying, "Hi," you could answer, "Good to see you too." Repeat after me. Good to see you too. Again. Good to see you too. Now let's make it warmer. Good to see you too. How have you been? Repeat slowly. Good to see you too. How have you been? Excellent. Native speakers often add small questions like this. Not because they expect a long answer every time, but because these questions keep conversations moving naturally. Here's another phrase you'll hear almost every day. Can't complain. Imagine. Someone asks, "How's everything going?" Instead of saying, "I'm okay," they smile and say, "Can't complain." It means things aren't perfect, but they're pretty good. Repeat after me. Can't complain. Again. Can't complain? Now try the full response. Pretty good. Can't complain. Your turn. Pretty good. Can't complain. Wonderful. This next phrase is extremely common. I'm hanging in there. Imagine you've had a busy week. You're a little tired. Someone asks, "How are you doing?" Instead of saying, "I'm terrible," you smile gently. I'm hanging in there. Repeat after me. I'm hanging in there. Again. I'm hanging in there. This phrase shows honesty without sounding too negative. Real conversations often live somewhere in the middle. Not amazing. Not terrible. Just real. Now let's practice responding with a little emotion. Repeat after me. Honestly. I'm feeling much better today. Again. Honestly. I'm feeling much better today. Notice how honestly makes the sentence sound more personal. Native speakers use little words like honestly, actually, pretty much, kind of, and to be honest, all the time. These aren't difficult words, but they make conversations sound alive. Let's build a tiny dialogue together. Listen first. Good morning. Morning. How's everything going? Pretty good? Can't complain. How about you? I'm doing well. Just a little tired today. Yeah. Long week. Pretty much. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Me too. Now imagine you're one of those speakers. Can you hear the rhythm? Nobody is giving a speech. Nobody is using perfect textbook English. They're simply talking. That's exactly what we're practicing. Let's do a little shadowing exercise. Listen. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Now repeat immediately. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Again. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Very good. Now say it naturally. I'm really looking forward to the weekend. Excellent. Every time you repeat with natural rhythm, your mouth becomes more familiar with English sounds. Don't worry if it doesn't feel perfect yet. Progress isn't measured by perfection. It's measured by comfort. And you're already becoming more comfortable. Before we finish this section, I'd like you to answer one simple question. Don't overthink it. Answer naturally, in your mind or out loud. How are you feeling today? Take a moment. Maybe your answer is, I'm feeling relaxed. Maybe it's, I'm a little tired. Maybe it's, I'm excited to practice my English. Whatever your answer is, it's the right answer because it's yours. Speaking English becomes much easier when you're talking about your own life instead of trying to memorize someone else's sentences. As we continue our journey together, you'll discover even more expressions that native speakers use without thinking. You'll notice how small changes can make your English sound warmer, more confident, and much more natural. And in our next real-life situation, we're going to step outside into a place almost everyone visits. A simple morning stop where just a few everyday phrases can make you sound surprisingly fluent before you've even finished your first cup of coffee. As you leave that friendly morning conversation behind, imagine yourself walking a little farther down the street. The air is still cool, and the city is slowly waking up. You can hear the quiet sound of traffic in the distance. A bicycle passes by. Someone is walking their dog. The smell of freshly brewed coffee drifts through the air. Just ahead, there's a cozy neighborhood coffee shop. The lights are warm. Soft music is playing. People are chatting quietly while waiting for their drinks. This is one of the best places to practice natural English because almost every conversation here is short, friendly, and useful. Imagine opening the door. A barista smiles at you. They look up and say, "Good morning, what can I get started for you?" Don't worry about answering perfectly. Let's build your response one small step at a time. The most basic answer could be, "Coffee, please." It works. People will understand you. But native speakers usually make it sound a little softer. Instead, they often say, "Could I get a coffee? Please." Repeat after me slowly. Could I get a coffee? Please. Again. Could I get a coffee? Please. Now let's make it even more natural. Could I get a medium latte? Please. Repeat slowly. Could I get a medium latte? Please. Excellent. Notice how relaxed that sounds. Native speakers say, could I get? All the time. You'll hear it in coffee shops, restaurants, bakeries, airports, and even food trucks. It's one of those phrases you'll use again and again. Now imagine the barista asks another question. Would you like that? Hot or iced? Take a second. How would you answer? Maybe you say, hot. Please. Very simple. Very natural. Repeat after me. Hot. Please. Again. Hot. Please. Now try another answer. I'd like it iced. Please. Repeat slowly. I'd like it iced. Please. Very nice. Notice that I'd like sounds a little warmer than simply saying, I want. Most learners say, I want a coffee. People understand it, but native speakers often soften the sentence. Instead of, I want, they naturally say, I'd like, or could I get? These tiny changes make your English sound much more relaxed. Let's continue. The barista smiles. Anything else today? Listen carefully. Anything else today? Repeat after me. Anything else today? Now answer naturally. No. That's everything. Thank you. Repeat slowly. No. That's everything. Thank you. Again. No. That's everything. Thank you. Excellent. This is exactly the kind of conversation you'll hear every single day. Short. Friendly. Comfortable. Let's make it a little richer. Instead of saying, only. No. Thanks. Try saying, no. That's all for now. Repeat after me. That's all for now. Again. That's all for now. Native speakers use this expression constantly. It sounds smooth and relaxed. Now imagine something different happens. You're looking at the menu, but you're not sure what to order. The barista smiles and asks, need a minute? This is extremely common. Instead of feeling nervous, simply answer, yeah. Just a minute. Thanks. Repeat after me. Yeah. Just a minute. Thanks. Again. Yeah. Just a minute. Thanks. Notice how casual yeah sounds. In everyday conversations, native speakers often say, yeah, instead of yes. Both are correct. But yeah feels much more conversational. Now let's imagine another situation. You finally decide. You smile and say, I think I'll try the caramel latte. Repeat after me. I think I'll try the caramel latte. Again. I think I'll try the caramel latte. That small phrase, I think I'll, is incredibly useful. You can use it almost anywhere. I think I'll take the bus. I think I'll stay home tonight. I think I'll order the soup. I think I'll wait a little longer. Notice the pattern. Instead of sounding too direct, it feels relaxed and natural. Now, let's practice a little shadowing. Listen carefully. I think I'll have a cappuccino. Now repeat immediately. I think I'll have a cappuccino. Again. I think I'll have a cappuccino. Excellent. Feel the rhythm. Don't rush. Native English has a gentle flow. The words connect naturally. Now, let's add another realistic moment. The barista asks, "Is this for here or to go?" This next phrase is something you'll hear everywhere. Repeat after me. For here. Again. For here. Now another one. To go. Again. To go. Let's practice the whole answer. It's to go. Please. Repeat slowly. It's to go. Please. Or. For here. Thanks. Repeat. For here. Thanks. Wonderful. You're already building a complete conversation. Now, let's make it feel even more real. Imagine. The coffee shop is a little busier now. Someone walks in behind you. The espresso machine is making noise. People are chatting quietly. The atmosphere feels warm and comfortable. The barista asks, "Can I get your name?" Instead of freezing, simply answer, "It's Alex." Or, "My name's Alex." Repeat after me. My name's Alex. Again. My name's Alex. Notice how native speakers usually contract. My name is. Into. My name's. These little contractions make English sound much smoother. Now imagine the barista smiles and says, "Your drink will be ready in just a few minutes." A natural response could be, "Perfect. Thank you." Repeat after me. Perfect. Thank you. Again. Perfect. Thank you. Very good. Small responses like this make conversations feel complete. Many learners stop speaking too early. They answer the question, but forget to react. Native speakers react constantly. Perfect. Sounds good. Awesome. Great. No worries. I appreciate it. These tiny responses create natural conversation flow. Let's practice another one. Sounds good. Repeat. Sounds good. Again. Sounds good. You'll hear this phrase almost every day. Someone says, "We'll be there around 6. You answer, "Sounds good." Someone says, "Your order will be ready soon." You answer, "Sounds good." It's simple, but it's incredibly useful. Now, let's make this conversation a little more interesting. Imagine you're waiting for your drink. Another customer is standing nearby. They smile and say, "Busy morning." You laugh a little. "Yeah. Pretty busy." Repeat after me. Yeah. Pretty busy. Again. Yeah. Pretty busy. Now let's upgrade it. Yeah. It's been a busy morning. Repeat slowly. Yeah. It's been a busy morning. Excellent. Notice how adding just a few words makes your English sound much more conversational. Let's continue. The other person smiles. Hopefully the coffee helps. You answer, "I could definitely use some coffee." Listen carefully. I could definitely use some coffee. Repeat after me. I could definitely use some coffee. Again. I could definitely use some coffee. This is an extremely common native expression. It doesn't literally mean you need coffee to survive. It simply means coffee sounds like a really good idea right now. You can use the same pattern with many things. I could use a break. I could use some fresh air. I could use a vacation. I could use a good night's sleep. Notice the pattern. Native speakers say this all the time. Let's practice another natural exchange. I'm running a little late today. Repeat. I'm running a little late today. Again. I'm running a little late today. Instead of saying, I'm late, native speakers often soften it. I'm running a little late. It sounds much more natural. Imagine the barista hands you your drink. Here you go. You smile. Thank you so much. The barista replies, You're very welcome. Repeat after me. Thank you so much. Again. Thank you so much. Now, repeat. You're very welcome. Excellent. These simple exchanges happen thousands of times every day. And now they're becoming part of your English. Take a slow breath. Think about everything you've practiced during just this short visit to the coffee shop. Ordering. Choosing. Responding. Reacting. Making small talk. Expressing yourself naturally. Without realizing it. You've practiced dozens of useful expressions that native speakers use every day. That's how real fluency develops. Not through isolated vocabulary lists, but through real situations that feel familiar. Before we leave this cozy little coffee shop, I'd like you to answer one final question. Imagine you're holding your favorite drink. The warm cup is in your hands. Someone smiles and asks, What did you order? Answer naturally, in your own words. Maybe you say, I got a latte. Maybe, I ordered an iced coffee. Or perhaps, I decided to try something new today. Whatever your answer is, say it confidently, because every sentence you create on your own is another step toward thinking directly in English. In just a moment, we'll leave the coffee shop behind and step into another everyday situation where conversations become a little less predictable. You'll discover how native speakers keep talking naturally, even when plans change unexpectedly. And you'll learn a few simple expressions that can make you sound much more confident in those real-life moments. As you step back outside with your coffee, the morning feels a little brighter. The streets are busier now. More people are heading to work. You hear the sound of buses stopping, traffic lights changing, and quiet conversations as people walk past one another. You take a sip of your coffee and begin walking toward the train station. Halfway there, your phone vibrates. You glance at the screen. A message from a coworker appears. Hey! The meeting starts 15 minutes earlier today. You look at the time. Oh no! I'm running a little late. This is exactly the kind of real-life moment where simple English becomes incredibly useful. Don't panic. Let's practice the language you would naturally use. Take a slow breath and repeat after me. Oh no! I'm running a little late. Again. Oh no! I'm running a little late. One more time. But this time, say it naturally. Oh no! I'm running a little late. Excellent. Notice how native speakers often pause after, oh, no. That small pause makes the sentence sound much more realistic. Now imagine you're walking a little faster. You arrive at an intersection. There are several streets in front of you. You're not completely sure which way to go. This happens to everyone, especially when visiting a new city. Instead of feeling nervous, you simply ask for help. The easiest question is, Excuse me, could you help me? Repeat after me slowly. Excuse me, could you help me? Again. Excuse me, could you help me? Very good. This phrase works almost everywhere. On the street. At a train station. Inside a shopping mall. At the airport. Even inside an office building. It's polite, friendly, and natural. Now let's make the question more specific. Imagine you're trying to find the train station. Repeat after me. Excuse me. Could you tell me how to get to the train station? Again. Excuse me. Could you tell me how to get to the train station? Take your time. Feel the rhythm. Native speakers don't rush through long questions. They speak clearly. Now let's compare 3 different ways to ask the same thing. Basic. Where's the station? Natural. Do you know where the station is? More natural. Excuse me. Could you tell me how to get to the station? Can you hear the difference? All 3 are correct. But each one sounds a little warmer than the previous one. This is something many learners never notice. Native English often isn't about using more difficult words. It's about making simple sentences sound more comfortable. Imagine a friendly stranger smiles and answers. Sure. Go straight for 2 blocks. Then turn left. Listen carefully. Go straight for 2 blocks. Then turn left. Repeat after me. Go straight for 2 blocks. Then turn left. Again. Go straight for 2 blocks. Then turn left. Excellent. Now, another common direction. It's right across the street. Repeat. It's right across the street. Again. It's right across the street. You'll hear expressions like these every day if you travel in an English-speaking country. Let's continue. The stranger finishes explaining the directions. What should you say? Many learners simply answer, "Thanks." That works. But here's a more natural response. "Thank you so much. I really appreciate it." Repeat after me. "Thank you so much. I really appreciate it." Again. "Thank you so much. I really appreciate it." Notice the difference. You're not only saying thank you. You're expressing genuine appreciation. That creates a warmer conversation. Now imagine the stranger smiles and replies, "No problem." Or perhaps, "Happy to help." These are extremely common responses. Repeat after me. "No problem." Again. "No problem." Now another one. "Happy to help." Again. "Happy to help." These are phrases you'll hear constantly. Now, let's make the situation a little more interesting. Imagine you start walking in the direction they suggested. A minute later, you realize you misunderstood. The station isn't there. It happens. Even native speakers misunderstand directions sometimes. So you politely ask another person. This time, you say, "Sorry. I think I went the wrong way." Repeat after me. "Sorry. I think I went the wrong way." Again. "Sorry. I think I went the wrong way." This is such a useful sentence. Notice the words, I think. Native speakers often soften statements this way. Instead of saying, "You're wrong," they naturally say, "I think." Instead of, "This isn't right," they say, "I think I may have misunderstood." These little changes make conversations feel more relaxed. Now imagine the second person smiles. "No worries. You're actually very close." Listen carefully. "You're actually very close." Repeat after me. "You're actually very close." Again. "You're actually very close." Notice the word, actually. Native speakers use this word constantly. Actually. Actually. It's over there. Actually. You're almost there. Actually. I changed my mind. Actually doesn't always mean in fact. Very often, it simply softens the sentence and makes it sound conversational. Let's practice another useful expression. I'm almost there. Repeat. I'm almost there. Again, I'm almost there. This phrase can describe distance. It can also describe progress. Someone asks, "Are you finished?" You answer, "I'm almost there." You're close to finishing. Very natural. Now imagine you finally arrive at the station entrance. You glance at your phone again. Good news. You still have a few minutes before the meeting. You smile and quietly say, "I made it." Repeat after me. I made it. Again. I made it. Native speakers love this expression. It simply means, I arrived. Or, I succeeded. You'll hear it in so many situations. I made it to work. I made it home. We made it just in time. Let's build a small conversation. Listen first. Excuse me. Could you tell me how to get to the train station? Of course. Go straight. Then turn right at the next light. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Have a great day. You too. Now let's shadow together. Repeat immediately after each sentence. Excuse me. Could you tell me how to get to the train station? Of course. Go straight. Then turn right at the next light. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Have a great day. You too. Wonderful. Can you feel how natural that conversation sounds? Nobody used complicated vocabulary. Nobody tried to impress anyone. It was simply polite. Useful English. That's exactly what we're building. Now let's add another tiny real-life moment. Imagine you're standing on the train platform. The train is delayed. A person next to you looks at the information screen and sighs. You smile politely and say, "Looks like it's running late." Repeat after me. Looks like it's running late. Again. Looks like it's running late. This phrase, looks like, is incredibly useful. Looks like it's going to rain. Looks like we're early. Looks like everyone's busy today. Native speakers use this pattern all the time. The other person smiles and replies, "Yeah. Hopefully it won't be too long." Repeat after me. Hopefully it won't be too long. Again. Hopefully it won't be too long. Notice how this creates friendly small talk. Neither person knows the other. But for a few moments, they share a simple conversation. That's real English. Not speeches. Not perfect grammar. Just people connecting. Take a slow breath. Think about how much you've practiced during this short journey. You asked for directions. You thanked someone politely. You corrected a misunderstanding. You responded naturally. You made small talk while waiting. Every one of those situations happens in everyday life. And now you're a little more prepared for them. Before we continue, I'd like you to answer one question on your own. Imagine you're visiting a new city for the very first time. What's one place you'd like to find? Maybe it's a museum. Maybe it's a bookstore. Maybe it's your hotel. Maybe it's a beautiful park. Now say one complete sentence. Excuse me. Could you tell me how to get to? Finish the sentence with your own destination. Take your time. Say it slowly. Smile as you speak. Every sentence you create yourself strengthens your ability to think directly in English. And something interesting is beginning to happen. You're probably spending a little less time translating in your head. Instead, you're beginning to recognize patterns. Native patterns. Conversation patterns. Patterns you'll hear again and again. In the next part of our journey, the atmosphere will change once more. Instead of talking with helpful strangers, you'll meet someone you haven't seen in quite a while. The conversation will become a little warmer. a little more personal. And you'll discover how native speakers keep friendly conversations flowing without ever sounding rehearsed. By the time you leave the train station, the city feels completely awake. People are moving in every direction. Some are carrying backpacks. Others are talking on the phone while hurrying across the street. A few people are standing outside a small bakery, enjoying breakfast before work. You check the time one more time. Good. You made it. As you walk toward your office building, someone catches your attention. A familiar face. For a second, you pause. They smile. Hey, is that you? You smile back. Wow, it's been a while. This is one of the most common moments in everyday English. Meeting someone you haven't seen for weeks, months, or even years. The conversation is usually simple, friendly, natural, and full of expressions that native speakers use all the time. Let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. It's been a while. Again. It's been a while. One more time. It's been a while. Excellent. Notice how natural this sounds. Native speakers rarely say, I haven't seen you for a long time. Instead, they usually say, It's been a while. Short, warm, easy to remember. Now imagine your friend laughs. I know. How have you been? Listen carefully. How have you been? Repeat after me. How have you been? Again. How have you been? This question is slightly different from How are you? How are you asks about today. How have you been? Asks about your life recently. Now let's practice 3 different answers. Basic. I've been good. Repeat. I've been good. Natural. I've been pretty busy lately. Repeat. I've been pretty busy lately. More natural. I've been pretty busy lately. But things are finally slowing down. Repeat after me. I've been pretty busy lately. But things are finally slowing down. Very nice. Did you notice something? Instead of giving one-word answers, you're beginning to tell a tiny story. That's one of the biggest differences between textbook English and real conversation. Real conversations grow naturally. Let's continue. Your friend smiles and says, That's good to hear. Repeat after me. That's good to hear. Again. That's good to hear. Now imagine. They ask another question. So, what have you been up to? This next phrase is extremely common. Repeat after me. What have you been up to? Again. What have you been up to? Native speakers use this instead of asking, What have you been doing recently? It sounds much more relaxed. Now answer naturally. Maybe you say, I've been working a lot. Repeat. I've been working a lot. Or perhaps, I've been spending more time with my family. Repeat. I've been spending more time with my family. Or maybe, I've been practicing my English every day. Repeat slowly. I've been practicing my English every day. Excellent. Notice how all of these answers begin with I've been. This pattern appears constantly in everyday conversations. Let's make your answer a little richer. Instead of saying, I've been working, try saying, I've been working a lot lately, but I've finally started finding a better balance. Repeat after me. I've been working a lot lately, but I've finally started finding a better balance. Take your time. You don't need to say it quickly. Focus on the rhythm. Now your friend smiles. That's great. You answer. Yeah. I'm really happy about it. Repeat after me. Yeah. I'm really happy about it. Again. Yeah. I'm really happy about it. Notice the little word. Yeah. Native conversations are full of these soft responses. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Definitely. Pretty much. They make conversations feel alive. Now imagine your friend says, "You look great." How should you respond? Many learners don't know what to say after a compliment. Here's a natural response. Thanks. I really appreciate that. Repeat after me. Thanks. I really appreciate that. Again. Thanks. I really appreciate that. Here's another natural response. That's very kind of you. Repeat. That's very kind of you. Excellent. Now let's imagine the conversation becomes a little more personal. Your friend asks, "How's work going?" Listen carefully. How's work going? Repeat after me. How's work going? Again. How's work going? Now let's practice 3 different responses. Basic. It's good. Natural. It's going pretty well. Advanced. It's been a little busy lately, but I'm learning a lot. Repeat after me. It's been a little busy lately, but I'm learning a lot. Notice how adding one small detail keeps the conversation moving. Most learners stop too early. They answer, "Good." Then silence. Native speakers usually give the other person something to respond to. Let's build another example. Instead of saying, "I'm busy," try saying, "I've had a busy week, but I'm glad things are calming down." Repeat slowly. I've had a busy week, but I'm glad things are calming down. Wonderful. Can you hear how relaxed that sounds? You're sharing information, not performing. Now your friend laughs. Sounds like you need a vacation. You smile. I definitely do. Repeat after me. I definitely do. Again. I definitely do. This tiny response is something you'll hear every day. Someone says, "You must be tired." You answer, "I definitely am." Someone says, "You deserve a break." I definitely do. Simple. Natural. Very conversational. Let's practice another common expression. I can't complain. Imagine, your friend asks, "Everything going okay?" You smile. Yeah. Can't complain. Repeat after me. Can't complain. Again. Can't complain. Notice how much personality fits into 2 simple words. Native speakers love expressions like this. Now let's imagine the conversation changes direction. Your friend asks, "Do you still live nearby?" Listen carefully. Do you still live nearby? Repeat after me. Do you still live nearby? Now answer naturally. Yeah. Just a few blocks away. Repeat. Yeah. Just a few blocks away. Or, no. I moved last year. Repeat. No. I moved last year. Let's make that answer a little longer. I moved last year, and I'm really enjoying the new neighborhood. Repeat after me. I moved last year, and I'm really enjoying the new neighborhood. Excellent. Adding one extra sentence makes your English sound much more fluent. Now let's do a little shadowing exercise. Listen first. Hey. It's been a while. Yeah. How have you been? I've been pretty busy lately. How about you? Pretty good. I've been working a lot. But things are finally slowing down. That's great to hear. Yeah. I'm happy about it. Now repeat immediately after each sentence. Hey. It's been a while. Yeah. How have you been? I've been pretty busy lately. How about you? Pretty good. I've been working a lot. But things are finally slowing down. That's great to hear. Yeah. I'm happy about it. Excellent work. Did you notice something interesting? There weren't any difficult words. But the conversation sounded real. That's because real English depends much more on rhythm than vocabulary. Now, let's practice another phrase that native speakers use constantly. By the way. Repeat after me. By the way. Again. By the way. This little phrase helps change the topic naturally. Imagine, your friend says, by the way, are you still learning English? You smile. Actually, yes. I've been practicing every day. Repeat after me. Actually, yes. I've been practicing every day. Again. Actually, yes. I've been practicing every day. Notice the word. Actually. It appears again. Native speakers use it naturally to introduce new information. Let's continue. Your friend smiles. It really How do you respond? A simple answer could be, thanks. I'm trying. Repeat after me. Thanks. I'm trying. Again. Thanks. I'm trying. That little sentence carries a lot of meaning. It sounds humble, friendly, natural. Now imagine both of you begin walking together. The conversation becomes quieter, more relaxed. You don't feel pressure anymore. You simply enjoy talking. That's exactly what we want your English to feel like. Not stressful. Not forced. Comfortable. Everyday conversations aren't about giving perfect answers. They're about connecting with another person. One small sentence. One smile. One follow-up question. One shared experience. Before we finish this section, I'd like you to answer a question about your own life. Imagine you unexpectedly meet an old friend tomorrow. They smile and ask, what have you been up to? Take a few seconds. Answer honestly. Maybe you've been studying. Maybe you've been working. Maybe you've been spending more time with your family. Maybe you've started a new hobby. Whatever your answer is, say it out loud. Don't translate. Just speak. Even if your sentence isn't perfect. Because every time you speak about your real life, your brain learns that English isn't something you study. It's something you use. And that's where real confidence begins. As we continue, the conversation will move into another familiar part of daily life. You'll soon find yourself in a place where people talk a little faster. Interruptions happen naturally. And you'll learn how native speakers keep conversations flowing, even when the day gets unexpectedly busy. As your conversation with your old friend comes to a natural end, both of you smile before heading in different directions. It's one of those pleasant moments that stays with you for the rest of the day. You continue walking toward your office, feeling a little more relaxed than you did earlier. The elevator doors open. You step inside. A few coworkers are already there. Some are quietly checking their phones. Someone is holding a cup of coffee. Another person is looking over a few notes before the morning meeting. You smile. One coworker looks up and says, morning. How's your day going so far? This question is everywhere. At work. At school. Even between neighbors. Let's practice answering it naturally. Repeat after me slowly. It's going pretty well so far. Again. It's going pretty well so far. One more time. It's going pretty well so far. Excellent. Notice the word so far. Native speakers add this phrase constantly when they're talking about something that isn't finished yet. My day's going well so far. Everything's been smooth so far. So far. So good. Let's practice another one. So far. So good. Repeat after me. So far. So good. Again. So far. So good. This is one of the most common responses you'll ever hear. Someone asks, "How's work?" You smile. So far. So good. Simple. Friendly. Natural. Now imagine your coworker asks another question. Busy morning. Listen carefully. Busy morning. Repeat after me. Busy morning. Now, answer naturally. Yeah. It's been pretty busy. Repeat. Yeah. It's been pretty busy. Again. Yeah. It's been pretty busy. Let's make that answer a little richer. Yeah. It's been pretty busy. But I'm getting everything done. Repeat after me. Yeah. It's been pretty busy. But I'm getting everything done. Excellent. Notice something important. Instead of complaining, you're giving a balanced answer. Native speakers often do this. They recognize that they're busy, but they finish with something positive. Let's continue. Your coworker smiles. I know exactly what you mean. Listen. I know exactly what you mean. Repeat after me. I know exactly what you mean. Again. I know exactly what you mean. This phrase creates connection. Someone tells you they're tired. I know exactly what you mean. Someone says traffic was terrible. I know exactly what you mean. You're showing understanding. Now imagine another coworker joins the conversation. Did you finish the report? Don't worry if the answer is no. Native speakers rarely answer with only yes or no. Instead, they explain just a little. Let's practice. Basic. Not yet. Repeat. Not yet. Natural. Not yet. But I'm almost finished. Repeat. Not yet. But I'm almost finished. More natural. Not yet. But I'm almost finished. I just need a few more minutes. Repeat after me. Not yet. But I'm almost finished. I just need a few more minutes. Very good. Did you notice how easy that feels? You're simply adding one more thought. That's often all you need. Now imagine your coworker replies. No rush. Listen carefully. No rush. Repeat after me. No rush. Again. No rush. This is another phrase you'll hear almost every day. Instead of saying, you don't need to hurry, native speakers simply say, no rush. Now, let's imagine something slightly unexpected happens. Your manager walks over and says, Hey, do you have a minute? Take a breath. How would you answer? Here's a natural response. Sure. What's up? Repeat after me. Sure. What's up? Again. Sure. What's up? Notice how relaxed that sounds. Most learners expect. What would you like to discuss? That's correct. But almost nobody says that in casual workplace conversations. Instead, they simply ask, What's up? Or, What can I help you with? Let's practice another response. Sure. How can I help? Repeat. Sure. How can I help? Excellent. Now imagine your manager says, We need to move today's meeting to 2 o'clock. How would you respond? A very natural answer is, That works for me. Repeat after me. That works for me. Again. That works for me. This next phrase is extremely useful. Someone suggests lunch at noon. That works for me. Someone wants to meet tomorrow instead. That works for me. Instead of saying, okay, you're showing agreement in a more natural way. Let's continue. The manager smiles. Thanks for being flexible. You answer. No problem at all. Repeat after me. No problem at all. Again. No problem at all. Or perhaps, happy to help. Repeat. Happy to help. Notice how often these friendly expressions appear. Native conversations are filled with kindness. They're not formal. They're simply cooperative. Now let's slow down for a moment. Take a breath. Imagine you're sitting at your desk. You open your laptop. You begin checking your emails. One email catches your attention. There's a question you weren't expecting. For a second, you're unsure. That's okay. Real conversations often include uncertainty. Instead of pretending you know everything, native speakers naturally say things like, I'm not sure. Repeat after me. I'm not sure. Again. I'm not sure. Now let's make it more helpful. I'm not sure. But I'll check. Repeat slowly. I'm not sure. But I'll check. Excellent. Notice how useful this is. You don't need to know every answer immediately. You simply show that you're willing to help. That's real communication. Now imagine your coworker asks, do you know where Sarah is? You answer, I'm not sure. She might be in the meeting room. Repeat after me. She might be in the meeting room. Again. She might be in the meeting room. The word might is incredibly common. It shows possibility without sounding too certain. She might be busy. It might rain later. They might already know. Native speakers use might constantly. Let's build another natural dialogue. Listen first. Morning. Morning. How's everything going? Pretty good. Just a little busy. Same here. Did you finish the report? Not yet. But I'm almost done. No rush. Thanks. That helps. Can you hear how comfortable that conversation feels? Nobody is trying to sound impressive. Everyone is simply communicating. Now let's shadow together. Repeat immediately after each sentence. Morning. Morning. How's everything going? Pretty good. Just a little busy. Same here. Did you finish the report? Not yet. But I'm almost done. No rush. Thanks. That helps. Excellent work. Now, let's introduce another phrase that native speakers use all the time. I'll take care of it. Repeat after me. I'll take care of it. Again. I'll take care of it. This phrase shows responsibility. Your coworker says, can someone send the file? You answer, I'll take care of it. Someone asks, who'll call the client? I'll take care of it. Simple. Confident. Natural. Let's continue. A coworker thanks you. Thanks for helping. You smile. Anytime. Repeat after me. Anytime. Again. Anytime. This tiny word carries a warm feeling. It means, I'm always happy to help. Native speakers use it constantly. Now imagine the morning becomes a little quieter. People return to their desks. The office settles into a comfortable rhythm. You notice something interesting. The conversations you've heard today weren't long. Most lasted less than a minute. Yet every person sounded relaxed. That's one of the biggest secrets of conversational English. Fluency isn't speaking for 10 minutes without stopping. Fluency is feeling comfortable during hundreds of tiny conversations throughout the day. One greeting, one question, one answer, one follow-up, one smile. That's everyday English. Let's practice one final speaking exercise. I'll ask you a question. Answer naturally. Don't search for the perfect sentence. Simply respond. Ready. How's work going lately? Take a moment. Maybe you say, it's going pretty well. Maybe. It's been a little busy, but I'm learning a lot. Or perhaps, it's been challenging, but I'm enjoying it. Whatever your answer is, say it slowly. Speak clearly. Relax your shoulders. Breathe. Every answer you create yourself builds another pathway in your brain. And little by little, those pathways become automatic. One day, someone will ask you a simple question at work. And instead of translating every word, you'll simply answer. Naturally. Comfortably. Confidently. That's the progress we're building together. In the next part of our journey, the setting will change once again. The office will fade into the background. And you'll find yourself in another everyday situation where conversations become a little more spontaneous, a little more personal, and where a few small native expressions can completely change the way your English sounds. The morning passes more quickly than you expected. Before you know it, it's lunchtime. The office becomes quieter as people stand up from their desks. Some head outside for a walk. Others gather in small groups, talking about where to eat. You close your laptop and stretch your shoulders. It feels good to take a short break. One of your coworkers walks over with a friendly smile. Hey, we're grabbing lunch. Want to come? This is one of those everyday invitations you'll hear all the time. The answer doesn't have to be long. It just needs to sound natural. Let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. Sure. I'd love to. Again. Sure. I'd love to. One more time. Sure. I'd love to. Excellent. Notice how warm that sounds. Instead of simply saying, yes. Native speakers often add a little enthusiasm. Sure. I'd love to. Sounds great. That sounds nice. Absolutely. These little expressions make conversations feel friendly. Now let's imagine you're already walking with your coworkers. The restaurant isn't far away. People are chatting about their weekend, the weather, and a movie someone watched last night. Nobody is giving a perfect speech. Everyone is simply sharing small pieces of their day. That's exactly how real conversations work. One coworker turns to you and asks, so, what are you thinking of getting? Listen carefully. What are you thinking of getting? Repeat after me. What are you thinking of getting? Again. What are you thinking of getting? This is much more natural than asking, what will you order? You'll hear this pattern often. What are you thinking of doing? What are you thinking of watching? What are you thinking of buying? Now answer naturally. Maybe you say, I'm thinking of getting a salad. Repeat after me. I'm thinking of getting a salad. Again. I'm thinking of getting a salad. Really explain their choices. Now imagine another coworker smiles. Good idea. You laugh. Yeah. I'm trying to eat a little healthier. Repeat after me. I'm trying to eat a little healthier. Again. I'm trying to eat a little healthier. Notice the phrase. I'm trying to. Native speakers use this pattern constantly. I'm trying to sleep earlier. I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to exercise more. I'm trying to spend less time on my phone. This is something you'll hear every day. Let's continue. Everyone sits down. The menus are on the table. The waiter walks over. Are you ready to order? Take a moment. How would you answer? If you're ready, you can simply say, yes, I think so. Repeat after me. Yes, I think so. Again. Yes, I think so. But maybe you're still deciding. A very natural answer is, I need another minute. Repeat. I need another minute. Again. I need another minute. Let's soften it a little. Could I have another minute? Please. Repeat after me. Could I have another minute? Please. Excellent. This sounds polite and relaxed. Now imagine you're ready. The waiter smiles. What can I get for you? Let's practice 3 different answers. Basic. I'll have the chicken sandwich. Repeat. I'll have the chicken sandwich. Natural. I'll have the grilled chicken sandwich. Please. Repeat. I'll have the grilled chicken sandwich. Please. More natural. I'll have the grilled chicken sandwich. And could I get a glass of water too? Repeat slowly. I'll have the grilled chicken sandwich. And could I get a glass of water too? Wonderful. Notice how smoothly the second request fits into the sentence. Native speakers often combine requests this way. Now imagine, the waiter asks. What would you like to drink? Listen carefully. What would you like to drink? Repeat after me. What would you like to drink? Again. What would you like to drink? You answer. I'll just have water. Repeat. I'll just have water. Again. I'll just have water. Notice the little word. Just. Native speakers use it all the time. I'll just have coffee. I'll just look around. I'm just checking. It softens the sentence naturally. Let's continue. While waiting for the food, the conversation changes. Someone asks, so, do you usually cook at home? Repeat after me. Do you usually cook at home? Again. Do you usually cook at home? Now answer honestly. Maybe you say, yeah. Most of the time? Repeat. Yeah. Most of the time. Or perhaps, not really. I usually eat out. Repeat. Not really. I usually eat out. Excellent. Here's another natural response. I enjoy cooking when I have time. Repeat after me. I enjoy cooking when I have time. Again. I enjoy cooking when I have time. Notice how this answer sounds personal. You're sharing a little about yourself. That's what keeps conversations alive. Now another coworker joins in. I tried a new recipe last weekend. You smile. Really, how did it turn out? Listen carefully. How did it turn out? Repeat after me. How did it turn out? Again. How did it turn out? This phrase is extremely common. Someone tells you about a project. How did it turn out? Someone talks about a vacation. How did it turn out? Someone mentions a job interview. How did it turn out? It's a simple way to keep the conversation going. Now imagine your coworker laughs. It actually turned out pretty well. Repeat after me. It turned out pretty well. Again. It turned out pretty well. Notice another pattern. Turned out. Native speakers use this expression constantly. It turned out better than I expected. It turned out fine. Everything turned out okay. Let's practice one more. Everything turned out fine. Repeat. Everything turned out fine. Very good. Now let's do a short shadowing exercise. Listen first. So, what are you thinking of getting? I'm thinking of getting the grilled chicken. Good choice. I'm trying to eat a little healthier. Me too. I'll probably order the salad. Sounds good. How about something to drink? I'll just have water. Perfect. Now repeat immediately after each sentence. So, what are you thinking of getting? I'm thinking of getting the grilled chicken. Good choice. I'm trying to eat a little healthier. Me too. I'll probably order the salad. Sounds good. How about something to drink? I'll just have water. Perfect. Excellent work. Can you hear how relaxed the conversation sounds? Nobody is speaking in long paragraphs. Each person says just enough. That's one of the biggest secrets of conversational English. Short. Natural. Connected. Now let's imagine something unexpected happens. The waiter returns. I'm sorry. We're out of the chicken sandwich today. This happens in real life. Don't panic. Here's a natural response. Oh. No worries. Repeat after me. No worries. Again. No worries. Then continue. In that case, I'll have the turkey sandwich instead. Repeat slowly. In that case, I'll have the turkey sandwich instead. Excellent. Notice the phrase. In that case. It helps you react naturally. When plans change, native speakers use it all the time. Let's continue. Your food arrives. Everyone smiles. It looks delicious. Repeat after me. It looks delicious. Again. It looks delicious. After taking the first bite, your coworker asks, how is it? Instead of saying, good. Try something a little more natural. It's really good. Repeat. It's really good. Now upgrade it. It's even better than I expected. Repeat after me. It's even better than I expected. Excellent. This next phrase is something you'll hear every day. Better than I expected. The movie was better than I expected. The weather was better than I expected. The restaurant was better than I expected. Simple. Natural. Useful. As lunch comes to an end, everyone begins gathering their things. One coworker smiles. Thanks for joining us. You answer warmly. Thanks for inviting me. Repeat after me. Thanks for inviting me. Again. Thanks for inviting me. Let's make it even warmer. I had a really nice time. Repeat. I had a really nice time. Wonderful. These simple closing phrases leave people with a positive feeling. That's another important part of real conversation. Knowing how to finish naturally. Before we leave the restaurant, I'd like you to answer one final question. Imagine you're having lunch with friends tomorrow. What would you order? Take a moment. Maybe you'd say, I'll have a bowl of soup. Maybe. I'm thinking of getting a sandwich. Or perhaps, I'd like to try today's special. Whatever your answer is, say it slowly and confidently. Every sentence you create is another small step toward thinking directly in English instead of translating word by word. You've probably noticed something by now. You're no longer learning isolated phrases. You're building complete conversations. One situation connects naturally to the next. One useful expression leads to another. And before you even realize it, you're beginning to sound more like someone having a real conversation than someone reciting a lesson. Our next stop will bring another change of pace. The relaxed atmosphere of lunch will give way to a different everyday experience where quick questions, small decisions, and spontaneous responses happen all around you, giving you another chance to make your English feel even more natural. After a relaxing lunch, everyone slowly heads back outside. The afternoon sun is a little brighter now, and the streets feel more energetic than they did in the morning. People are crossing the sidewalks with shopping bags in their hands. A delivery truck pulls up beside a bookstore. Someone is laughing while talking on the phone. A gentle breeze moves through the trees as you decide to stop by a nearby supermarket before returning to work. This is another perfect place to practice real English. Why? Because supermarkets are full of short conversations. You ask a question. Someone gives you a quick answer. You thank them. The conversation ends naturally. No pressure. No long speeches. Just practical English you can use almost anywhere. Imagine walking through the automatic doors. You pick up a shopping basket and begin looking around. You need a few things for dinner tonight. Maybe some bread, a carton of milk, fresh fruit, perhaps a few vegetables. As you walk through the store, you can't find what you're looking for. Instead of wandering around, you decide to ask an employee. Take a slow breath. Repeat after me. Excuse me. Could you help me find something? Again. Excuse me. Could you help me find something? One more time. Excuse me. Could you help me find something? Excellent. This sentence works almost everywhere. Not just in supermarkets, department stores, bookstores, pharmacies, shopping malls. It's one of those expressions that becomes useful again and again. Now imagine the employee smiles warmly. Of course. What are you looking for? Listen carefully. What are you looking for? Repeat after me. What are you looking for? Again. What are you looking for? Now answer naturally. I'm looking for fresh bread. Repeat after me. I'm looking for fresh bread. Again. I'm looking for fresh bread. Let's practice another example. I'm looking for almond milk. Repeat. I'm looking for almond milk. Now another one. I'm looking for pasta. Repeat. I'm looking for pasta. Notice something important. Native speakers almost always say, I'm looking for, instead of, where is? Both are correct. But I'm looking for sounds softer and more conversational. Let's continue. The employee points toward the next aisle. It's on aisle 5. Repeat after me. It's on aisle 5. Again. It's on aisle 5. Now another useful phrase. It's near the dairy section. Repeat. It's near the dairy section. Again. It's near the dairy section. As you begin walking toward aisle 5, you quietly repeat the directions in your mind. Aisle 5. Near the dairy section. This is exactly how language becomes memorable. You connect words with places, with actions, with real situations. Now imagine you arrive at the shelf. There are several different kinds of bread. Whole wheat, sourdough, white bread, multigrain. You aren't sure which one to choose. A friendly shopper standing nearby notices your hesitation. They're all pretty good. You smile. Really? Which one do you recommend? Repeat after me. Which one do you recommend? Again. Which one do you recommend? This next phrase is incredibly useful. Native speakers ask for recommendations all the time. Which one do you recommend? What would you recommend? Do you have a favorite? Let's practice another version. What would you recommend? Repeat. What would you recommend? Excellent. The shopper smiles. I usually get this one. Listen carefully. I usually get this one. Repeat after me. I usually get this one. Again. I usually get this one. You smile. I'll give it a try. Repeat after me. I'll give it a try. Again. I'll give it a try. This phrase appears everywhere. Someone recommends a movie. I'll give it a try. Someone recommends a restaurant. I'll give it a try. Someone recommends a new app. I'll give it a try. Simple. Friendly. Natural. Now imagine you're walking toward the fruit section. Everything looks fresh. Bright red apples. Yellow bananas. Juicy oranges. You pick up an apple and quietly say, "These look really fresh." Repeat after me. These look really fresh. Again. These look really fresh. Notice the word look. Native speakers often describe things using what they see. It looks good. That looks interesting. This looks delicious. Those look expensive. These little comments help create natural conversations. Now another customer hears you and smiles. They are. I bought some yesterday. You answer. Good to know. Repeat after me. Good to know. Again. Good to know. This tiny expression is everywhere in everyday English. Someone gives you useful information. Good to know. Someone tells you a shortcut. Good to know. Someone recommends a product. Good to know. It's short, friendly, and very common. Let's continue. You finish shopping and head toward the checkout. There are only 2 people waiting in line. The cashier smiles. Did you find everything you needed? Listen carefully. Did you find everything you needed? Repeat after me. Did you find everything you needed? Again. Did you find everything you needed? Now answer naturally. Yes. I did. Thanks. Repeat. Yes. I did. Thanks. Let's make it more conversational. Yes. I found everything. Thank you. Repeat after me. Yes. I found everything. Thank you. Now imagine something is missing. Instead of saying, no. Try this. Not quite. I couldn't find the pasta sauce. Repeat after me. Not quite. I couldn't find the pasta sauce. Again. Not quite. I couldn't find the pasta sauce. Notice the phrase, not quite. Native speakers use this to soften negative answers. It's much warmer than simply saying, no. Now, imagine the cashier replies, I'm sorry about that. You smile. No worries. Repeat after me. No worries. Again. No worries. This phrase has appeared before in our lessons. That's intentional. Repetition helps your brain remember useful English naturally. The more often you hear these everyday expressions, the more easily they'll come to you in real conversations. Now let's move to another common moment. The cashier begins scanning your groceries. Do you need a bag? Repeat after me. Do you need a bag? Again. Do you need a bag? You answer. Yes. Please. Repeat. Yes. Please. Or maybe. No. Thanks. I brought my own. Repeat after me. No. Thanks. I brought my own. Excellent. This is becoming a complete conversation. Now, the cashier asks, would you like a receipt? Listen carefully. Would you like a receipt? Repeat after me. Would you like a receipt? Again. Would you like a receipt? You answer. Yes. Please. Or. No. Thanks. Simple. Natural. Exactly what you'll hear every day. Now let's practice a short dialogue together. Listen first. Excuse me. Could you help me find the bread? Of course. It's on aisle 5. Thank you. You're welcome. Which one do you recommend? I usually get this one. Great. I'll give it a try. Did you find everything you needed? Yes. I did. Thanks. Would you like a bag? Yes. Please. Have a great day. You too. Now, let's shadow together. Repeat immediately after each sentence. Excuse me. Could you help me find the bread? Of course. It's on aisle 5. Thank you. You're welcome. Which one do you recommend? I usually get this one. Great. I'll give it a try. Did you find everything you needed? Yes. I did. Thanks. Would you like a bag? Yes. Please. Have a great day. You too. Excellent work. Notice how every sentence is useful. There aren't any difficult grammar rules hiding inside these conversations. Instead, you're building confidence through situations you'll actually experience. Let's pause for a moment. Take a slow breath. Think about how many different conversations you've already practiced today. You greeted people? You ordered coffee. You asked for directions. You caught up with an old friend. You talked with coworkers. You enjoyed lunch. And now you've successfully shopped at a supermarket using natural English. That's real progress. Not because you've memorized hundreds of random words, but because you've connected English with everyday life. Before we leave the supermarket, I'd like you to answer one final question. Imagine you're shopping for dinner tonight. What's one thing you need to buy? Take a moment. Say one complete sentence. I'm looking for. Finish it with your own answer. Maybe bread. Maybe fruit. Maybe vegetables. Maybe chicken. Whatever you choose. Say it slowly. Clearly. Confidently. Every sentence you create yourself helps your brain stop translating and start communicating. In the next part of our journey, we'll step into another familiar situation where conversations become a little more personal again. You'll learn how native speakers talk about their day, share small emotions, and keep a conversation flowing naturally with just a few simple expressions that you'll hear almost every single day. As you leave the supermarket with your shopping bag in one hand, the afternoon begins to slow down. The streets feel calmer now. The lunch crowds have disappeared, and people are settling back into the rhythm of the day. A few children are laughing in a nearby park. Someone is sitting on a bench reading a book. A light breeze carries the smell of fresh flowers from a small garden beside the sidewalk. You find a quiet place to sit for a few minutes before heading home. This is a wonderful moment to do something many English learners rarely practice. Talking about your own day. Not giving a presentation. Not telling a long story. Simply describing how your day has been. This is one of the most useful speaking skills you can develop, because people ask this question all the time. How was your day? So, how's everything going? What did you do today? If you can answer these naturally, you'll feel much more confident in everyday conversations. Let's begin with something simple. Imagine someone smiles and asks, "So, how was your day?" Take a slow breath. Repeat after me. It was pretty good. Again. It was pretty good. One more time. It was pretty good. Simple. Natural. Very common. But let's make that answer a little richer. Instead of stopping there, add one more thought. It was pretty good. I got a lot done today. Repeat after me. It was pretty good. I got a lot done today. Again. It was pretty good. I got a lot done today. Excellent. Notice how adding one extra sentence makes the conversation continue naturally. Native speakers often do this without thinking. Now let's build another answer. Maybe your day wasn't perfect? Maybe you were a little tired. Here's a natural response. It was a little busy, but not too bad. Repeat after me. It was a little busy, but not too bad. Again. It was a little busy, but not too bad. Notice the phrase, not too bad. This is one of the most common expressions in English. How's your day? Not too bad. How are things? Not too bad. How's work? Not too bad. It doesn't mean everything is amazing. It simply means things are going fairly well. Let's continue. Imagine you're talking with a friend after work. They ask, "What did you do today?" Listen carefully. What did you do today? Repeat after me. What did you do today? Again. What did you do today? Now answer naturally. I had a few meetings. Repeat. I had a few meetings. Or perhaps, I worked on a new project. Repeat. I worked on a new project. Let's expand that answer. I worked on a new project. And I learned a few new things. Repeat after me. I worked on a new project. And I learned a few new things. Excellent. Native speakers often connect two simple ideas together. What happened? And how they felt about it. That's all you need. Now imagine your friend smiles and says, "Sounds like a productive day." Listen carefully. Sounds like a productive day. Repeat after me. Sounds like a productive day. Again. Sounds like a productive day. You answer. Yeah. I think so. Repeat. Yeah. I think so. This small phrase appears constantly in conversation. I think so. I don't think so. I hope so. We'll practice all of them throughout future lessons. Now, let's imagine a different situation. Maybe your day felt a little stressful. That's completely normal. Instead of saying, "My day was terrible," native speakers often soften negative feelings. For example, "It was a little stressful." Repeat after me. It was a little stressful. Again. It was a little stressful. Now, let's upgrade it. It was a little stressful. But everything worked out in the end. Repeat slowly. It was a little stressful. But everything worked out in the end. Excellent. Notice something important. The sentence begins with a challenge. But it ends positively. Native speakers often speak this way. They acknowledge difficulties without focusing only on the negative. Let's continue. Imagine, your friend asks, "Are you tired?" How would you answer? Basic. Yeah. Natural. Yeah. I'm a little tired. Repeat. Yeah. I'm a little tired. Now a more natural answer. Yeah. I'm a little tired. But I'm feeling much better now. Repeat after me. Yeah. I'm a little tired. But I'm feeling much better now. Very nice. Can you hear the rhythm? It's gentle. Relaxed. Conversational. Now let's practice another common expression. I'm exhausted. Repeat. I'm exhausted. Again. I'm exhausted. Native speakers often use this instead of saying, "I'm very tired." Let's soften it. Honestly, I'm exhausted. Repeat after me. Honestly, I'm exhausted. Again. Honestly, I'm exhausted. Notice the word honestly. It adds emotion without making the sentence dramatic. Native speakers use it naturally. Honestly, I forgot. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that. Honestly, I needed a break today. Let's continue. Imagine someone asks, did anything interesting happen today? Listen carefully. Did anything interesting happen today? Repeat after me. Did anything interesting happen today? Again. Did anything interesting happen today? Now answer. Actually. Yes. I ran into an old friend. Repeat. Actually. Yes. I ran into an old friend. This is another useful phrase. I ran into. It means you met someone unexpectedly. I ran into my neighbor. I ran into my teacher. I ran into an old coworker. Native speakers use this expression constantly. Now, let's build another answer. Actually, nothing special happened today. Repeat after me. Actually, nothing special happened today. Again. Actually, nothing special happened today. Notice that even ordinary days can become conversations. You don't need exciting stories every day. Real conversations are about everyday life. Let's pause for a moment. Take a slow breath. You've probably noticed that we're no longer focusing only on vocabulary. We're learning how conversations naturally grow. Someone asks one question. You answer. Then you add one small detail. That detail invites another question. This is exactly how real communication works. Now let's practice a short dialogue. Listen first. How was your day? It was pretty good. I got a lot done. That's great. Anything interesting happen? Actually, I ran into an old friend this morning. Really? That must have been nice. Yeah. It was good catching up. Now, let's shadow together. Repeat immediately after each sentence. How was your day? It was pretty good. I got a lot done. That's great. Anything interesting happen? Actually, I ran into an old friend this morning. Really? That must have been nice. Yeah. It was good catching up. Excellent. Notice how the conversation feels smooth. Nobody is trying to impress anyone. They're simply sharing experiences. Now let's introduce another phrase you'll hear every day. I needed that. Repeat after me. I needed that. Again. I needed that. Imagine you've just finished lunch. That was delicious. I needed that. Or perhaps you finally. This break is nice. I needed that. It's a small sentence, with a lot of emotion. Now imagine you're drinking a cup of tea in the evening. You smile quietly and say, this is exactly what I needed. Repeat after me. This is exactly what I needed. Again. This is exactly what I needed. Native speakers often connect feelings with experiences this way. Let's continue. Someone asks, what are you doing after work? Listen carefully. What are you doing after work? Repeat after me. What are you doing after work? Again. What are you doing after work? Now answer naturally. I'm just going to relax. Repeat. I'm just going to relax. Let's upgrade it. I'm just going to relax and enjoy a quiet evening at home. Repeat after me. I'm just going to relax and enjoy a quiet evening at home. Wonderful. Notice another pattern. I'm just going to. This sounds relaxed, natural, comfortable. Native speakers use it constantly. I'm just going to grab a coffee. I'm just going to finish this first. I'm just going to head home. Simple. Useful. Very common. Now let's do one more shadowing exercise. Listen carefully. How was your day? Pretty good. I got a lot done. Nice. Anything exciting happen? Not really. But I learned something new. That's always a good day. Yeah. I think so too. Now repeat immediately. How was your day? Pretty good. I got a lot done. Nice. Anything exciting happen? Not really. But I learned something new. That's always a good day. Yeah. I think so too. Very good. Take another slow breath. Think about your own day. Not someone else's. Your own. What made you smile today? What challenged you? What did you learn? Who did you talk to? What are you grateful for? Now answer with just one or two simple sentences. Don't worry about perfection. Don't search for complicated vocabulary. Just speak honestly. Because the goal isn't to sound impressive. The goal is to sound like you. Every time you describe your real life in English, your confidence grows. Your brain begins connecting English with your own experiences instead of textbook examples. That's when something wonderful begins to happen. English slowly becomes part of your daily life. Not a school subject. Not a test. A language you can actually use. And as we continue our journey together, we'll move into another everyday situation where conversations become a little more expressive. You'll discover how native speakers naturally share opinions, react to ideas, and keep conversations flowing with simple expressions that make even ordinary moments feel engaging and real. The afternoon slowly fades into early evening. The sunlight becomes softer, and the streets begin to look different from the busy morning you experienced earlier. People are leaving their offices, locking up small shops, and making their way home. Some are carrying grocery bags. Others are chatting with friends as they walk toward the train station. You decide to take a slower route home. There's a small park nearby. The benches are almost full. A few children are playing on the grass. Someone is walking a golden retriever. A couple is enjoying coffee from a nearby cafe. You find an empty bench and sit down for a moment. After such a busy day, it feels nice to simply slow down. A few minutes later, another person sits on the bench beside you. They smile politely. Mind if I sit here? You smile back. Not at all. Repeat after me, slowly. Not at all. Again. Not at all. One more time. Not at all. Excellent. This is a very natural response. Many learners would simply say, okay. That works. But, not at all sounds warmer and more welcoming. The person thanks you and sits down. For a few moments, both of you simply enjoy the peaceful afternoon. Then they look toward the park and say, it's a beautiful evening. Isn't it? Listen carefully. It's a beautiful evening. Isn't it? Repeat after me. It's a beautiful evening. Isn't it? Again. It's a beautiful evening. Isn't it? This kind of question is called a tag question. But don't worry about the grammar. Just notice how often native speakers use it to start friendly conversations. Now answer naturally. It really is. Repeat after me. It really is. Again. It really is. Or perhaps, yeah. It's perfect. Repeat. Yeah. It's perfect. Notice how simple these responses are. Natural English is often much simpler than learners expect. The person smiles. I come here after work whenever I can. Listen carefully. I come here after work whenever I can. Repeat after me. I come here after work whenever I can. Again. I come here after work whenever I can. Now it's your turn. Maybe you say, I like coming here too. Repeat. I like coming here too. Let's make it a little richer. I like coming here because it's peaceful. Repeat after me. I like coming here because it's peaceful. Excellent. Notice how adding one reason creates a much more interesting conversation. Native speakers often explain why. Not because they have to, because that's how conversations naturally grow. Now, imagine the person asks, do you come here often? Repeat after me. Do you come here often? Again. Do you come here often? Now answer naturally. Sometimes. Repeat. Sometimes. Let's build that answer. Not as often as I'd like. Repeat after me. Not as often as I'd like. Again. Not as often as I'd like. This is an extremely useful expression. Not as often as I'd like. Not as much as I'd like. Not as early as I'd like. Native speakers use this pattern constantly. Let's continue. The conversation feels comfortable now. No pressure. No awkward silence. Just two people talking. The person asks, so, what do you usually do to relax? Listen carefully. What do you usually do to relax? Repeat after me. What do you usually do to relax? Again. What do you usually do to relax? Take a moment. Think about your own answer. Maybe you enjoy reading. Maybe you listen to music. Maybe you watch movies. Maybe you go for a walk. Let's practice a few natural responses. I usually listen to music. Repeat. I usually listen to music. I like going for walks. Repeat. I like going for walks. I usually read before bed. Repeat. I usually read before bed. Now let's make one answer more personal. I usually listen to music because it helps me relax after a busy day. Repeat after me. I usually listen to music because it helps me relax after a busy day. Excellent. You're beginning to build longer thoughts without making them complicated. Now, imagine the other person smiles. That sounds nice. Repeat after me. That sounds nice. Again. That sounds nice. This phrase appears everywhere. Someone tells us about their weekend. That sounds nice. Someone talks about vacation plans. That sounds nice. Someone shares a hobby. That sounds nice. It's a simple way to encourage the conversation. Now let's introduce another common expression. That sounds like fun. Repeat after me. That sounds like fun. Again. That sounds like fun. Notice the difference. That sounds nice. That sounds like fun. Small changes. Big difference in meaning. Native speakers naturally choose expressions that match the situation. Now the conversation continues. The person asks, have you always lived around here? Repeat after me. Have you always lived around here? Again. Have you always lived around here? Now answer naturally. No. I moved here a few years ago. Repeat. No. I moved here a few years ago. Let's expand it. No. I moved here a few years ago. And I've really grown to like this neighborhood. Repeat after me. No. I moved here a few years ago. And I've really grown to like this neighborhood. Notice the phrase, grown to like. Native speakers often use it when something becomes more enjoyable over time. I've grown to enjoy cooking. I've grown to appreciate quiet mornings. I've grown to love this city. These expressions sound thoughtful without being difficult. Let's continue. The person nods. I know exactly what you mean. You smile. It's funny how places start to feel like home. Repeat after me. It's funny how places start to feel like home. Again. It's funny how places start to feel like home. Can you hear how conversational that sounds? You're not giving a speech. You're simply sharing a thought. Now let's practice another phrase that native speakers use very often. To be honest. Repeat after me. To be honest. Again. To be honest. This phrase gently introduces your opinion. To be honest. I needed a quiet afternoon. To be honest. I'm still learning. To be honest. I wasn't expecting that. Let's practice one. To be honest. I really needed this break. Repeat slowly. To be honest. I really needed this break. Very good. Now imagine the conversation shifts naturally. The person points toward the sunset. I never get tired of this view. Listen carefully. I never get tired of this view. Repeat after me. I never get tired of this view. Again. I never get tired of this view. This is another expression you'll hear often. I never get tired of this song. I never get tired of coffee. I never get tired of traveling. It's an easy way to describe something you continue enjoying. Now it's your turn. Complete the sentence in your own mind. I never get tired of. Take a moment. Maybe it's books. Maybe it's nature. Maybe it's learning English. Whatever comes to mind. Say it confidently. Now, let's do a short shadowing exercise. Listen first. It's a beautiful evening. Isn't it? It really is. Do you come here often? Not as often as I'd like. What do you usually do to relax? I usually listen to music. That sounds nice. Yeah. It helps me slow down after work. I know what you mean. Sometimes we all need a quiet moment. Now repeat immediately after each sentence. It's a beautiful evening. Isn't it? It really is. Do you come here often? Not as often as I'd like. What do you usually do to relax? I usually listen to music. That sounds nice. Yeah. It helps me slow down after work. I know what you mean. Sometimes we all need a quiet moment. Excellent. Notice how this conversation flows naturally. Nobody is asking difficult questions. Nobody is trying to impress anyone. They're simply sharing small parts of everyday life. That's what makes English feel real. Let's pause for a moment. Take a slow breath. Listen to the imaginary sounds around you. The wind moving through the trees. Children laughing in the distance. Birds settling into the evening. Footsteps on the path nearby. Now quietly ask yourself one simple question. What was the best part of your day? Answer in English. It doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe you say, the best part of my day was having lunch with my coworkers. Maybe. The best part of my day was finishing my work. Or perhaps, the best part of my day is right now. Sitting here and relaxing. Whatever your answer is, say it slowly. Because every time you connect English with your real thoughts and feelings, you're training your brain to think instead of translate. That's one of the biggest breakthroughs in language learning. English stops feeling like a school subject. It begins feeling like your own voice. As daylight slowly fades and the evening becomes quieter, another kind of conversation is waiting for us. In the next part of our journey, you'll discover how native speakers naturally share opinions, react to ideas, agree, disagree politely, and keep conversations moving with confidence. Even when people don't think exactly the same way, the evening becomes quieter with every passing minute. The golden light of the sunset slowly fades into soft shades of orange and blue. Streetlights begin to glow, one by one, and the city takes on a calmer rhythm. The sounds of the busy afternoon become distant, replaced by quiet conversations, gentle footsteps, and the occasional laughter of friends walking home together. You decide to stop at a small outdoor cafe before heading home. The tables are almost full. People are relaxing after work, enjoying warm drinks and easy conversations. You order a cup of tea and find a comfortable seat near the window. A few moments later, someone you met earlier in the park notices you and smiles. "Mind if I join you?" You smile warmly. "Of course. Have a seat." A few minutes pass as both of you enjoy the peaceful evening. Then your new friend says, "I watched a really interesting movie last night." This is where another important part of English begins. Sharing opinions. Not arguing. Not giving speeches. Simply expressing what you think. Native speakers do this every single day. Let's practice together. Your friend asks, "Have you seen it?" Repeat after me slowly. "Have you seen it?" Again. "Have you seen it?" You answer, "No, I haven't." Repeat, "No, I haven't." Now your friend smiles. "I think you'd really enjoy it." Listen carefully. "I think you'd really enjoy it." Repeat after me. "I think you'd really enjoy it." Again. "I think you'd really enjoy it." Notice something important. Native speakers often begin opinions with "I think." It makes the conversation feel friendly instead of too direct. Let's practice a few more examples. "I think it's a great movie." Repeat. "I think it's a great movie." "I think you'll like it." Repeat. "I think you'll like it." "I think it's worth watching." Repeat. "I think it's worth watching." Excellent. These are expressions you'll hear all the time. Now, imagine your friend asks, "What kind of movies do you like?" Listen carefully. "What kind of movies do you like?" Repeat after me. "What kind of movies do you like?" Again. "What kind of movies do you like?" Take a moment. Think about your own answer. Maybe you enjoy action movies. Maybe comedies. Maybe documentaries. Maybe romantic movies. Let's practice a few natural responses. "I usually enjoy comedies." Repeat. "I usually enjoy comedies." "I like movies based on true stories." Repeat. "I like movies based on true stories." "I'm a big fan of science fiction." Repeat. "I'm a big fan of science fiction." Notice the phrase, "I'm a big fan of." Native speakers use it everywhere. "I'm a big fan of coffee." "I'm a big fan of traveling." "I'm a big fan of jazz." It's a natural way to express something you enjoy. Now let's continue. Your friend says, "Really, I wasn't expecting that." Repeat after me. "I wasn't expecting that." Again. "I wasn't expecting that." This expression appears in many situations. "I wasn't expecting that ending." "I wasn't expecting such good weather." "I wasn't expecting to see you here." Simple. Natural. Very common. Now your friend asks another question. "So, what's your favorite movie?" Instead of answering with only the title, let's build a real response. "My favorite movie is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, because it's inspiring." Repeat after me. "My favorite movie is." Because it's inspiring. Replace the movie title with one you actually enjoy. Take your time. This is your answer. Your conversation. Your English. Now imagine your friend smiles. That's a good choice. Repeat after me. That's a good choice. Again. That's a good choice. Now you respond. What about you? Repeat. What about you? Again. What about you? One of the easiest ways to keep a conversation alive is by asking the same question back. Native speakers do this naturally. How was your weekend? Pretty good. How about yours? Do you like coffee? Yeah, I do. What about you? Simple. Effective. Now let's imagine your friend recommends another movie. You haven't heard of it before. Instead of saying, I don't know. Try this. I'll have to check it out. Repeat after me. I'll have to check it out. Again. I'll have to check it out. This is an excellent native expression. Someone recommends a restaurant. I'll have to check it out. Someone suggests a podcast. I'll have to check it out. Someone talks about a beautiful place. I'll have to check it out. Notice how natural it sounds. Now the conversation changes. Your friend asks, what do you think about learning English through podcasts? Listen carefully. What do you think about learning English through podcasts? Repeat after me. What do you think about learning English through podcasts? Again. Now answer honestly. I think it's a great way to practice listening. Repeat. I think it's a great way to practice listening. Let's make it a little richer. I think it's a great way to practice because it feels natural. Repeat after me. I think it's a great way to practice because it feels natural. Excellent. Notice how easy that sentence is. The vocabulary isn't difficult. The idea is clear. That's real communication. Now let's practice agreeing with someone. Imagine, your friend says, I think consistency is more important than studying for hours. You smile. I completely agree. Repeat after me. I completely agree. Again. I completely agree. Here's another one. I couldn't agree more. Repeat. I couldn't agree more. Native speakers use this expression constantly. It simply means, I agree with you, very strongly. Now imagine you have a different opinion. There's no need to sound rude. Instead, soften your answer. Repeat after me. I see what you mean. Again. I see what you mean. This is one of the best expressions in English. It shows respect before sharing your own idea. Let's continue. I see what you mean. But I think everyone learns differently. Repeat slowly. I see what you mean. But I think everyone learns differently. Excellent. Notice how polite that sounds. Native speakers often disagree gently. Not directly. Not aggressively. Just naturally. Now let's introduce another useful phrase. In my opinion. Repeat after me. In my opinion. Again. In my opinion. Now, complete the sentence. In my opinion. Practicing every day is the best way to improve. Repeat slowly. In my opinion. Practicing every day is the best way to improve. Wonderful. Now, let's imagine your friend smiles. That's an interesting point. Repeat after me. That's an interesting point. Again. That's an interesting point. This is another wonderful expression. Instead of immediately agreeing or disagreeing, you acknowledge the other person's idea. It keeps conversations friendly. Now let's do a short shadowing exercise. Listen first. What kind of movies do you like? I usually enjoy comedies. Really? I'm a big fan of documentaries. That sounds interesting. You should watch this one sometime. I'll have to check it out. I think you'd really enjoy it. Thanks. I'll add it to my list. Now repeat immediately after each sentence. What kind of movies do you like? I usually enjoy comedies. Really? I'm a big fan of documentaries. That sounds interesting. You should watch this one sometime. I'll have to check it out. I think you'd really enjoy it. Thanks. I'll add it to my list. Excellent. Can you hear how relaxed that conversation feels? Nobody is trying to use advanced vocabulary. They're simply exchanging ideas. That's exactly what everyday English sounds like. Let's continue with another common question. What do you usually do on weekends? Repeat after me. What do you usually do on weekends? Again. Think about your own answer. Maybe you spend time with family. Maybe you read books. Maybe you exercise. Maybe you relax at home. Let's practice. I usually spend time with my family. Repeat. I usually spend time with my family. Or, I like relaxing at home and watching movies. Repeat. I like relaxing at home and watching movies. Very nice. Now, let's make it a little more personal. Weekends help me recharge for the week ahead. Repeat after me. Weekends help me recharge for the week ahead. Again. Weekends help me recharge for the week ahead. Native speakers often use the word recharge to describe resting and getting your energy back. Now take a slow breath. Think about today's conversations. You ordered coffee. You asked for directions. You caught up with a friend. You talked with coworkers. You enjoyed lunch. You went shopping. You described your day. And now you've shared your opinions. Without realizing it, you've built dozens of natural conversation patterns. More importantly, you've begun thinking about your own experiences in English. That's a huge step forward. Before we finish this section, I'd like you to answer one final question. What is something you really enjoy? It could be anything. Music, travel, reading, cooking, learning English. Begin your answer like this. I'm a big fan of. Finish the sentence with something that's true for you. Say it slowly. Smile as you speak. Because when English becomes personal, it becomes memorable. And when it becomes memorable, it becomes natural. In the next part of our journey, we'll look toward tomorrow instead of today. You'll learn how native speakers talk about future plans, personal goals, hopes, and dreams, using simple expressions that make your English sound confident, optimistic, and ready for real life. The evening has now settled peacefully around you. The cafe is becoming quieter as more people finish their drinks and begin heading home. Outside the window, the streets glow under the warm light of street lamps. Cars pass by, a little more slowly than they did during the day. And the air feels cooler and calmer. You take one last sip of your tea. It's been a full day. You've met friendly people, solved small problems, shared stories, expressed your thoughts, and now, as the day gently comes to an end, it's time to do something that people naturally do in conversations. Talk about tomorrow. Talk about the future. Talk about hopes. Talk about plans. You don't need advanced grammar to do this well. You simply need a few natural expressions that native speakers use every single day. Let's begin. Imagine your friend smiles and asks, "So, what are you doing tomorrow?" Take a slow breath. Repeat after me. What are you doing tomorrow? Again. What are you doing tomorrow? One more time. What are you doing tomorrow? Excellent. This is one of the most common questions in everyday English. Now let's answer naturally. I'm going to work tomorrow. Repeat after me. I'm going to work tomorrow. Again. I'm going to work tomorrow. Simple. Clear. Natural. Now let's make that answer a little richer. I'm going to work tomorrow. And then I'm meeting a friend for dinner. Repeat slowly. I'm going to work tomorrow. And then I'm meeting a friend for dinner. Excellent. Notice how one extra sentence makes the conversation feel much more real. Native speakers naturally connect today's plans with tomorrow's activities. Now let's imagine another answer. Maybe tomorrow is your day off. Repeat after me. I'm planning to relax tomorrow. Again. I'm planning to relax tomorrow. Let's make it a little warmer. I'm planning to relax tomorrow because it's been a busy week. Repeat slowly. I'm planning to relax tomorrow because it's been a busy week. Wonderful. Notice the phrase, I'm planning to. Native speakers use this expression constantly. I'm planning to visit my parents. I'm planning to start a new book. I'm planning to clean the house. I'm planning to learn something new this weekend. This pattern is simple, but incredibly useful. Now your friend smiles and asks, do you have any plans for the weekend? Listen carefully. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Repeat after me. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Again. Now answer naturally. Not yet. Repeat. Not yet. Let's build a longer answer. Not yet. But I'd like to spend some time outdoors. Repeat after me. Not yet. But I'd like to spend some time outdoors. Excellent. Notice another useful pattern. I'd like to. Native speakers often use this, instead of saying, I want to. I'd like to read more. I'd like to travel someday. I'd like to improve my English. Soft. Friendly. Natural. Now let's continue. Imagine, your friend asks. Is there anything you're looking forward to? Listen carefully. What are you looking forward to? Repeat after me. What are you looking forward to? Again. This is a wonderful question because it invites positive conversation. Now answer naturally. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Repeat. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Let's expand it. I'm looking forward to the weekend because I finally have some time to relax. Repeat after me. I'm looking forward to the weekend because I finally have some time to relax. Excellent. Notice the phrase, looking forward to. Native speakers use it every day. I'm looking forward to seeing my family. I'm looking forward to the holidays. I'm looking forward to our next lesson. It expresses excitement in a very natural way. Now imagine your friend smiles. That sounds like a good plan. Repeat after me. That sounds like a good plan. Again. This simple response encourages the conversation to continue. Now your friend asks something a little more personal. What's one thing you'd like to improve this year? Take a moment. Think about your answer. Maybe your English. Maybe your health. Maybe your confidence. Maybe your work-life balance. Let's practice together. I'd like to improve my spoken English. Repeat after me. I'd like to improve my spoken English. Again. Now let's make that sentence more personal. I'd like to speak English more naturally in everyday conversations. Repeat slowly. I'd like to speak English more naturally in everyday conversations. Excellent. Can you hear how realistic that sounds? You're not saying, I want perfect English. You're focusing on communication. That's exactly the right goal. Now let's continue. Imagine, your friend says. I think you'll get there. Listen carefully. I think you'll get there. Repeat after me. I think you'll get there. Again. This phrase doesn't mean arriving somewhere physically. It means reaching your goal. Native speakers use it often to encourage someone, You'll get there. Keep going. You're making progress. Now answer naturally. I hope so. Repeat after me. I hope so. Again. I hope so. Let's make it a little richer. I hope so. I'm working on it every day. Repeat slowly. I hope so. I'm working on it every day. Excellent. Notice another beautiful phrase. I'm working on it. Native speakers use this expression whenever they're improving something. I'm working on my pronunciation. I'm working on being more patient. I'm working on staying healthy. Simple. Positive. Very common. Now, let's imagine another conversation. Your friend asks, "Where would you like to travel someday?" Repeat after me. Where would you like to travel someday? Again. Take a moment. Imagine your dream destination. Maybe Japan. Maybe Canada. Maybe Australia. Maybe somewhere you've never visited before. Now answer. I'd love to visit Japan someday. Repeat after me. I'd love to visit Japan someday. Again. Notice the phrase, I'd love to. Native speakers use this constantly. I'd love to learn another language. I'd love to see the northern lights. I'd love to live near the ocean. This expression sounds warm and optimistic. Now let's continue. Your friend smiles. Why do you want to go there? Answer naturally. I've always wanted to experience the culture. Repeat after me. I've always wanted to experience the culture. Again. Or perhaps, I've heard it's a beautiful place. Repeat. I've heard it's a beautiful place. Notice another common expression. I've heard. Native speakers often introduce information this way. I've heard the food is amazing. I've heard it's very peaceful. I've heard the people are friendly. Now let's do a short shadowing exercise. Listen first. What are you doing tomorrow? I'm going to work. And then, I'm meeting a friend. Nice. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Not yet. But I'd like to relax. That sounds like a good plan. What are you looking forward to? I'm looking forward to spending time with my family. That'll be nice. Yeah. I can't wait. Now repeat immediately after each sentence. What are you doing tomorrow? I'm going to work. And then I'm meeting a friend. Nice. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Not yet. But I'd like to relax. That sounds like a good plan. What are you looking forward to? I'm looking forward to spending time with my family. That'll be nice. Yeah. I can't wait. Excellent. Let's introduce another expression you'll hear all the time. One step at a time. Repeat after me. One step at a time. Again. This simple phrase is often used when someone has a big goal. Learning English. Starting a new career. Getting healthier. One step at a time. Now, repeat this sentence. I'm taking it one step at a time. Again. I'm taking it one step at a time. Notice how encouraging this sounds. It reminds us that progress doesn't happen all at once. It happens through small, first-ed actions. Just like today's lesson. Every conversation you've practiced has been one small step. Every sentence you've repeated has been one small step. Every time you've spoken out loud, you've become just a little more comfortable using English. Sometimes progress feels slow. That's perfectly normal. Language learning isn't about rushing. It's about showing up again tomorrow. And the day after that. And the day after that. Little by little. What once felt difficult becomes familiar. What once required translation becomes automatic. One day, you'll answer a question without stopping to think. You'll smile because you'll realize something amazing. You're no longer translating. You're simply speaking. Take a slow breath. Close your eyes for just a moment if you'd like. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. You're sitting in a cafe, traveling in another country, meeting someone new, having a conversation with confidence. Not because you suddenly became perfect, but because you kept practicing. One conversation at a time. One lesson at a time. One day at a time. Now, I'd like you to answer one final question before we move into our last section together. What is one goal you have for yourself? It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be impressive. Just make it real. Begin with these words. I'd like to. Finish the sentence in your own way. Say it slowly. Believe it. Because every meaningful journey begins with a simple sentence. And every confident English speaker begins exactly where you are today. In our final part together, we'll look back on everything you've accomplished. Review the most important conversation patterns you've learned. And celebrate just how far you've already come in a single, relaxed English practice session. As our journey together slowly comes to an end, take one more deep, relaxing breath. Notice how different you feel now compared to when this lesson first began. At the beginning, we simply greeted one another. You found a comfortable place to sit. You relaxed. You listened. And then, little by little, something began to change. Without rushing, without pressure, without trying to memorize hundreds of grammar rules, you simply started using English. That's one of the most important things I'd like you to remember. Fluency doesn't begin when you know every word. Fluency begins the moment you start communicating. Today, you've done exactly that. Think back to the beginning of our lesson. You greeted someone in the morning. You asked, "How's it going?" You answered naturally. You smiled. A simple conversation. Then you walked into a coffee shop. You ordered a drink. You responded to questions. You thanked the barista. You learned that even the smallest conversations help build confidence. After that, you found your way through the city. You asked for directions politely. You thanked a stranger. You discovered that asking for help doesn't require difficult English. Only clear, friendly communication. Then you met an old friend. You talked about your life. You answered, "I've been pretty busy lately." You shared real experiences instead of memorized sentences. That was another important step. Later, you walked into work. You greeted your coworkers. You talked about your day. You responded naturally to small questions. You learned that workplace English isn't about sounding formal. It's about sounding comfortable. Then lunchtime arrived. You ordered food. You made small talk. You listened. You reacted. You kept the conversation moving. Later, you visited the supermarket. You asked where things were. You thanked people. You accepted recommendations. You handled small everyday situations with confidence. As the afternoon became evening, you slowed down. You described your day. You talked about how you were feeling. You realized that simple emotions often create the most meaningful conversations. Then you shared your opinions. You agreed politely. You disagreed respectfully. You recommended movies. You talked about hobbies. You expressed yourself naturally, without needing complicated vocabulary. Finally, you looked toward tomorrow. You talked about your goals, your dreams, your plans. You imagined yourself speaking English more confidently in the future. One conversation naturally led to another. One sentence became two. Two became three. And before you even noticed, you were thinking less about grammar and more about communication. That's exactly what real progress looks like. Sometimes learners ask, When will I become fluent? The answer is different for everyone. But here's something I've learned from listening to thousands of English learners. Fluency rarely arrives all at once. It grows quietly, almost invisibly. One useful phrase becomes familiar. Then another. Then another. One day you answer a simple question, without translating. A week later, you tell a short story. A month later, you realize you've been thinking in English for several minutes. These moments are small, but together, they change everything. That's why consistency matters so much. 10 relaxed minutes every day are often far more powerful than one stressful study session once a week. Your brain loves repetition. It loves familiarity. It loves returning to ideas that already feel comfortable. Every time you come back to practice, those pathways become stronger. Speaking becomes easier. Listening becomes clearer. Confidence becomes quieter. More natural. Today, I also hope you notice something else. You don't need perfect English to connect with people. Real conversations are full of pauses, laughter, mistakes, small corrections. Native speakers don't expect perfection. They simply expect communication. If someone understands your message, you've already succeeded. That's a wonderful way to think about language learning. Instead of asking yourself, did I make any mistakes? Try asking, did I communicate? If the answer is yes, you're moving in the right direction. Remember something else. Every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Every confident conversation started with a first sentence. Every natural response once felt unfamiliar. Nobody skips that process. The difference isn't talent. It's consistency. It's patience. It's showing up again tomorrow. And the next day. And the day after that. That's exactly what you're doing. If you've stayed with me through this entire lesson, you've already practiced far more English than many learners do in a typical day. You listened carefully. You repeated naturally. You imagined real situations. You connected English with your own life. That's meaningful practice. Not passive listening. Active learning. Take another slow breath. I'd like you to imagine yourself a few months from now. Picture yourself walking into another coffee shop. This time, when the barista smiles and asks, "What can I get for you?" You don't panic. You simply answer, "Could I get a medium latte? Please. Thank you." The conversation continues naturally. Imagine traveling to another country. Someone asks, "Where are you from?" Instead of searching for words, you smile and answer comfortably. Imagine meeting someone new at work. You introduce yourself. You ask about their day. You tell them a little about yourself. The conversation flows. Not because your English is perfect, but because it feels natural. That's the future you're building. One lesson at a time. One conversation at a time. One confident sentence at a time. Before we finish, I'd like us to do one final speaking exercise together. This time, I don't want you to repeat after me immediately. I simply want you to answer honestly. Imagine, someone asks, "How are you today?" Take a moment. Answer in your own words. Now imagine, they ask, "What did you do today?" Again, answer honestly. Then they smile and ask, "What are you looking forward to tomorrow?" One more answer. Notice something. You didn't need a textbook. You didn't need to translate every word. You simply spoke. That is a wonderful achievement. Now I'd like you to repeat 3 final affirmations with me. Take your time. Speak slowly. Believe the words as you say them. I am becoming more confident every day. Repeat. I am becoming more confident every day. Again. I am becoming more confident every day. Excellent. Now the second one. Every conversation helps me improve. Repeat. Every conversation helps me improve. Again. Every conversation helps me improve. Very good. And one final affirmation. I don't need perfect English. I need real English. Repeat after me. I don't need perfect English. I need real English. Again. I don't need perfect English. I need real English. Beautiful. Those simple words capture the heart of everything we've practiced together today. Real conversations. Real situations. Real confidence. As you continue your English journey, remember that progress isn't measured by how many difficult words you know. It's measured by how comfortably you can connect with another person. And today, you've taken a meaningful step toward that goal. Thank you for spending this time with me here on Relaxing English Listening. I truly hope this lesson has helped you feel calmer, more confident, and a little more connected to the English language. If this practice brought you value, I hope you'll make it part of your daily routine. Come back whenever you want to relax. Listen. Repeat. And continue building your confidence one conversation at a time. Each lesson is another opportunity to strengthen what you've already learned. Each conversation is another chance to trust yourself a little more. And before you know it, English won't feel like something you're studying anymore. It will simply become another way to express your thoughts, your ideas, your experiences, and your life. Until we meet again. Keep listening. Keep speaking. Keep smiling when you make mistakes. Keep believing in your progress. Take things one step at a time. And most importantly, enjoy the journey. Have a peaceful evening. Take good care of yourself. And I'll see you in our next English conversation. Goodbye for now. And happy learning.